Hey, what is up, you beautiful people, man? Welcome to another video. It is cold in Florida, man. I never thought that Florida would get this cold, but here we are. But anyhow, in this video, let me just get straight to the point. This is an attempt to make carbon fiber bucket seats in our garage.
Yeah, this is very ergonomic.
Yeah, right?
And I like that this here's...
It hugs you real nice.
Yeah, it hugs real nice.
It's not perfect, far from it, but it gets the job done. I think it came out okay. It's really comfortable with memory foam and all that good stuff. But first off, let me take a step back in a minute. Why do we need a custom seat to begin with? Why not just buy one? Well, we tried, but actually we couldn't find anything that suited our needs. You see, I'm about to embark on another financial mistake. Actually, this channel is becoming a combination of things you should not do or buy in your 20s. But I mean, we all have an addiction and we have to find a way to support it, right? So if you are subscribed to this channel, I can probably guess that we have a few things in common, right? One of them is, the addiction for fast cars and fun cars. It doesn't necessarily have to be fast to be fun, but they certainly go hand in hand. We probably had a similar experience growing up with the, admiration for the cars our parents' generation had access to. And we all had posters on our walls that cars we dream of owning one day. I remember being a kid and thinking, man, I can't wait. I just can't wait to be an adult. I just can't wait to have a driver license so I can, modify these cars, start buying these cars and, the cars you see in movies and video games, and actually start doing this stuff in real life with real cars instead of the, toys that you grew up playing with. I just remember thinking like, man, life is going to be awesome. I just can't wait until you actually get here and then you realize it's not what you thought it was going to be. I mean, you realize these so-called cars are really expensive to own and maintain. And not to mention, like, the cost of living just keeps going up with no end in sight. The price of goods, insurance, everything seems like it just keeps going up. And if you're anything like me, I'm not sure if you remember this, but remember way back in school when you should be paying attention to math class, they were teaching you how 2 plus 2 equals 4 or something like that. But then remember actually drawing the back of the book, some crazy looking designs and some crazy looking cars, when in fact you should be paying attention to class, but you're not, because you're in your own world, you're in your own bubble. Which brings us to today. I mean, all we're trying to do, despite everything that's going on in the economy or politics, it doesn't matter. All we're trying to do is just keep that inner creativity alive. That is it. So how can I explain this? This is, well, I don't really know what this is, but let me explain. So the goal is to build a 4-seater coupe. 2-door, 4-seater performance coupe. I'm sure you've noticed, yes, it's been done this many times before. So I've recruited my brother and my wife to help me build a custom car from the ground up. I mean, we're talking about custom chassis and everything. Something that I think is unique. Actually, you let me know in the comment section. Based off some research that I found, I couldn't find some examples of this being done before. But hey, I might be wrong, so let me know in the comments below, and it will actually be really interesting to see and learn from other people who have done this before. So actually, all the way back in 1948, I believe Ferrari was the first one to do this with the 166 Inter. Okay, pause for a second. I'm just editing the video, but forget the body lines. Check out the fitment on this thing. Like, damn. Like, BMW owners are known for gatekeeping their fitments on forums, but I wonder if this guy or girl got sued for this fitment right here, because I don't think this is factory. Because if it is, man, this thing looks nice. And they had a formula that carried until this very day. So you had a sleek looking 2-door coupe, and you had another row in the back with more seats. So technically you can fit 4 people, but if you're over 6 feet tall, it's not happening. So if you're sitting in the front, there's no one sitting in the back. Even on the M5, which is full saloon or full sedan as they call it, if I have somebody who's over 6 feet tall sitting in the front, you can sit in the back, but your legs, they're not going in there. And this is why I absolutely love sedans. In fact, when I decided to upgrade from my 535i, my F10 535i, I actually test drove an M3, and I couldn't get in the car. I'm not crazy tall. It's just that you can make it work. Don't get me wrong; it is doable, but it's not something that I wanted to do as a daily driver. But at the time, actually, it's interesting because my dream car was actually an E39 M5. But coming from an F10 535i, I always thought that, you know, F10 M5, for one, was a little bit beyond my price range. But I always thought that an F10 was just another version of the F10 535i with more horsepower. So I just thought it was a faster F10, if that makes sense. Because I knew that going in, yes, you can always add more horsepower to a car, but what a lot of people don't realize is it's still going to be heavy, still going to be a heavy 5 Series. But when I actually test drove the damn thing, I was blown away. I'm like, how can something this big and heavy behave this way? I always thought that the M5 would be a faster version of the 5 Series, which it is, don't get me wrong, but I guess it's the reason why people absolutely love these things. And this is why I still have this car until this very day. Something that I absolutely love to drive. Doesn't matter what the situation is. You're taking a family trip, you're going grocery shopping, it doesn't matter. I always find an excuse to get behind the wheel, and I don't have to because it's my daily driver. But again, let's take this back a little bit. What does this have to do with the seat? So the goal is to build something unique, something cool, something fun that you can share the experience with 3 more passengers. Kind of like the M5, but a more extreme version. I mean, sedan nowadays are so fast. Even this car, when it first came out, I mean, it was rivaling the Lamborghinis of its day with no problem. So it is fast, it's heavy, but it's fast, it's comfortable. Could it be considered a sports car? Well, no, it's a 4-door sedan. There's no way around it. So a sports car has to have 2 doors, but you can still have a coupe. You can have 2 doors and 4 seats. So I was still thinking, what if you can have a 2-door car that is low, has that nice sleek look, but you can still fit 4 grown adults, 4 people over 6 feet tall. So instead of having a traditional square setup, I was thinking, well, what if we had like a diamond setup in a way? So in this way, you'll have a driver in the center, you have 2 passengers right by your side and another passenger behind you. And this is where the custom seats come in. So in this case, you're sitting a lot more like an F1 driver than a traditional car. So the goal is to have enough leg room for the driver, of course, to reach the pedals comfortably and have enough room for a crumble zone as well. So since the engine is in the back, you don't have to worry about the having an extended crumble zone in the front. This is going to be a whole lot safer as well. And the 2 passengers next to the driver is going to share the same leg room, and the passenger in the rear is still going to have some room behind the driver to where you can actually have some leg room for the passenger behind. And in this case, the engine transmission is going to be behind everybody. So I also want to do this without having the car being too extra long and weird. I still want this to have a wheelbase of a traditional, you know, mid-engine car. I don't want to, not only for the looks, but also for performance. I don't want to be driving something that it feels like the rear wheels is 20 feet behind me, right? So with that being said, it kind of limited our options. When we were just thinking about, we've been thinking about this for years. We were thinking about, all the cool V12s and V10 engines that you can just cram into this thing without developing a brand new motor. You can just go out there and find something really cool, something unique that fits the project that you can use. But because of the seating arrangement, the V12 and the V10s are out of the window now. So V6 are actually a pretty good idea. It fits perfectly. But we decided to go with the V8 to give us, decent power for now and some room for growth as well. So I'm not the only crazy person to do this. There's many crazy car enthusiasts before have attempted to do a car in their own garage, build something from the chassis up, as long as you know what you're doing and you have the tools available. But it feels like a lot of people are kind of doing this backwards. They start with a crazy looking futuristic design, and then they're trying to find a chassis or a powertrain that will support it, and then trying to find where to put the seats. Whereas, design is supposed to be for humans. We're still in the world, AI is right around the corner. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a day in the future where AI and robots are gonna be buying things, driving the economy, but still, we, the people, are the people actually buying and using design. So when you design something that is not around humans, you end up with weird things that just don't make sense. It makes sense on the computer when you're designing it, but in real life, it just doesn't. So that is why the seats are very important. We're starting the other way around. You start with the seats first. You want to see where you're sitting, the positioning, and then you design around the passengers around, and then you design everything around the people, around the driver, the experience, the car. Everything is supposed to be around the driver. It's focused on the driver and the experience of the driver. And that's exactly why I would start it with designing this specific seat, manufacturing the seats, and then going from there. But it's far from perfect. I mean, there's a lot of imperfections in the carbon fiber and even the way it was designed. But hey, it gets the job done. Besides, this is just more for support. It's going to be connected to the chassis, so the chassis actually, there's more support to the seats. It's still very strong and super comfortable. But there's a slight modification that I still want to the seats. I can already find problems. I mean, the Alcantara already in the seats probably was a bad idea to design it out of using Alcantara. It's already getting dirty. It sticks to everything. It's already has part of, it looks like resin that was in there. I might actually have to order some more fabric to redo it again. But hey, there's 10,000 other things that we need to get done. This is just something cosmetic. I can either let the perfectionist in me try to perfect this, or I can take some time and energy and focus and money into other things that needs to get done as well. But either way, I know this video is getting way too long, but this is it's the goal. We're still working on it, we're still designing. I definitely want to share more with you, but hey, I gotta keep some excitement somehow and some surprises, and then I'll surprise you here and there. But anywho, this video is getting way too long. There's a lot more that I want to share with you, but right now I really want to take the time and thank you, because although it feels like I'm going down another path of financial mistakes, but at least I have you, I have people watching now, and then at least you'll get entertained, or who knows, learn a thing or two. So I'm really excited to bring this project and of course share with you. So with that being said, I'll see you on the next video. Stay tuned.